when there's an ODI chase by India, in India, against Australia, there can be only one king, King Kohli. Superb game by India, starting off with a win, just ended as we speak. And as we kick things off, we have on the show today Farooq Nomani, who is an avid cricket fan. He used to be a big fan of Umar Akmal and Yunus Khan at the time when I was also a fan of Umar Akmal. And he tweets on Farooq Nomani, FAROOQNOMANI. And you can also find his details in the YouTube description as you watch the video. Farooq, welcome to the show. How are you feeling about the World Cup so far?
Pretty good, phrase. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I know like the most common thing to talk about is the death of ODI cricket, but I'm still enjoying the format. I love 100 overs. It still takes up a lot of time in my day with two kids. It's kind of hard to focus on the game, but I'm excited about it.
And also Farooq is currently living in California. So imagine the time difference. He's following the World Cup with Farooq. So well done.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if it was T20s, it'd probably be harder because these games are starting at like 12 or 1 o'clock. But I mean, they're going into like, late into the morning. So that's fine.
Yeah.
Works out.
So to kick things off, I'll do a quick, so we have a 33-second summary at the start of every show. I'll do that for the day. So Australia won the toss, decided to bat first. Marsh went for a duck. Warner and Smith got 40s. And I think the game was at about 112 for 2 in midway through the innings when Jadeja, in 2 overs, he got Smith, Labuschagne, and Carey, and that really turned the game. I thought Jadeja's ball to Smith was maybe the ball of the day, and it was just too good. I guess it would have got most guys out on most days. And then from there, they kind of spluttered to just about 199. India, again, I think the start was dramatic as hell. Stark got Ishan in the first over, and Hazelwood followed up with getting both Rohit and Iyer immediately. But then Kohli and Rahul had a long-ass partnership, and they kind of just finished up. Kohli was out for 85. Rahul finished unbeaten in the 90s. So I've gone 22 seconds over, but decent effort for me. So yeah. Starting off, what's your first reaction, Farooq, to the game?
I mean, things weren't going to plan if you're an Indian fan for sure. As a neutral, I was really hoping for this is my expectation for a blockbuster game because these two have been playing bilateral ODIs for a while now, recently. So I thought it'd be competitive. I thought it'd be, medium to higher scoring. It was fine, like it was. I'm not surprised Australia put like themselves into bat because they wanted to have their pacers bowling in the dew, but that just meant that their spinners had freaking no grip. So I wouldn't say it was the most entertaining game to watch. I thought it was pretty cool. India is able to play like 5 frontline spinners plus Hardik. Yeah. I think India has to be like, if not still not the favorite, probably amongst the favorites. And as a Pakistani, I think you should admire the fact when any team can just risk playing 5 just frontline bowlers. For like sure. Ashwin is playing one days again. Shami still can't get into the team. He's one of the best bowlers in the world. So yeah, I mean, I would have wanted to be a little more entertaining. But
so I guess starting off at the top, right? I think if you look at the toss, the selection, I mean, Australia went for what we thought they would go for. No surprises there. Stoinis is injured. I feel like for me personally, the 11 I have no issue with, but I feel like if you're playing this 11, then having Smith and Labuschagne in 3 or 4 perhaps is a bit conservative. And if you have Cam Green, who opened in the T20s in India last year to great success, and given that this is a spot where Travis Head is hopefully going to come in anyway, they could have considered, I thought, opening with Green and Warner, bring Marsh down to 3, and then maybe have Smith at 4 and Labuschagne at 5. And in that case, you know what? When it's time for Labuschagne to come in, if it's post second half of the innings, you can kind of promote Maxwell as well. But I think this way, it's a bit of conservative setup as far as I can see.
For sure. I think Marsh has been scoring runs in the opening position. Like he's had a couple of half centuries, so they're going with that. Labuschagne they just gave him his regular, test slot.
Yeah.
And I think they were hoping for the same balance Rahul and Kohli have with Smith and Labuschagne, giving them that middle-order spine, those anchors. Was conservative? Yeah, I guess this isn't the best. This is not, but this is by no means a mediocre Aussie team. This is a 7.5 era in Aussie team. They can, maybe it was still conservative. I don't think the batting let them down. I think it was the bowling.
Well, I don't know, because I feel like 200 was probably about 30, 40 short, I would say. I think if they had about that 250. Because I think what also happened was when Smith and Labuschagne were batting, they were fine, but they didn't really try to take the spinners on. And I get that. I don't have an issue with their strike rate per se. But I think if you let bowlers bowl to their plans and you let them bowl to their field, you're kind of letting them execute their plans completely, right? So there was no intent from them to kind of try to change anything up.
Completely agree with that assessment. Dude, I was watching. I mean, I saw the Australia innings in fits and starts, and yeah, it wasn't crazy spinning. Like, yes, there was that one delivery which was, I feel like, an outlier from Jadeja, but and he was bowling fine up till then.
Yeah.
But yeah, they really went into their shell. Yeah, they could have been a little more positive for sure. For
And
sure.
I think the turning point was Warner, right? Because Warner was the only one. I think until the end of the game, I would say Warner was the best batsman across both teams. He just looked really fluent. And I think the fact that he's a left-hander, he was taking on the spinners a lot better. But I think once Kuldeep Yadav got him, that was it. He's also the only left-hander. They don't have any other left-handers in the middle, which I think is a bit of a challenge for them, especially when all teams line up with some kind of ball, like either a leg spinner or a left armer these days.
Yeah, fair enough. So Stoinis isn't in the squad. He didn't play.
Stoinis is actually injured for this game. He was meant to be playing, which is why Cam Green came in. So I think, yeah. So, I mean, they have two guys in the squad today, Head, who's in with a fractured hand, and now Stoinis. So they essentially were choosing from 13 today. But yeah, I guess moving on to India's batting, I mean, I think Stark and Hazelwood we did what we thought they could do. I think given that spin was such a big threat, I was a little surprised we didn't see Zampa till so much later in the inning, especially when, there was going to be dew potentially, and there was.
When he came on, I kind of figured out why we didn't see it. Maxwell bowled better. He just seemed a little more threatening. I was not impressed by Zampa. I have been following him closely. I've heard he is really good, but like he just seemed loopy. It didn't it just was not threatening at all.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. And I think generally speaking, there was also conversation happening around what this means for Pakistan, right? So there was a conversation on a couple of WhatsApp groups saying, are we better off playing in India coming off after beating Australia or losing to them? There was no clear answer there. But any thoughts?
I mean, I don't, man. I don't know. This is again, like we've been speaking about this. Like you don't bet against any Australia team in a world tournament, and they didn't look. I mean, this is still not their best team, and they made a fist of it, yeah. So yeah, I would hate to play these guys, these bowlers, especially these fast bowlers.
Yeah. But you're right. All in all, a disappointing day in terms of, again, when I saw the schedule, right, this was the first big one I was looking to build up to, right? And it was a disappointing game from that point of view.
Yeah, the tournament really hasn't taken off yet. I thought in New Zealand, England, there was so much. There was like the defending champions versus there was so much narrative going that was just it was. I guess it was entertaining for one side. Like
True. So I guess before we move on, we quickly look at the fixtures that these two teams have coming up, right? And I'm just going to put them up on the screen in a second. And
what's up next?
Australia have actually now, given that they've lost today, the next fixture against South Africa looks like a pretty key game for them, because South Africa is obviously coming off some smashing form.
Dude, okay, they're playing South Africa next. Yeah, like someone on the WhatsApp was complaining about these. So I'm liking these matchups here. I'm honestly liking these matchups.
Yeah. I mean, everyone plays everyone, right? So you're going to see everything, really. But to be honest, for Australia's point of view, playing South Africa, Sri Lanka, and Pakistan right after they've lost a game is a bit tricky, because if you need 6 games, and if South Africa takes them down, then suddenly they have 7 games left and they have to win 6 of them. So I think it's going to be there could be a bit of jeopardy for them if South Africa takes them. And they just played an ODI series in South Africa, with South Africa smashed them in 3-2. Having said that, conditions were very different. So.
Yeah. And of course, the ever-present C word when it comes to
yes, of course. I mean, South Africa, maybe they won't choke in the group, right? But they choke when it really matters. And this game is actually at Lucknow. Lucknow is also known to assist seamers somewhat. So actually, to be honest, this is going to be an incredible game in deciding how this World Cup goes forward, right? South Africa.
And I hope it's an incredible game. Yeah. So
it's coming up on Thursday, I believe, but it's during the week. If you look at India's fixtures, in the meantime, they play Afghanistan next in Delhi. And then they have us up next, right? So given that they've got this win, you would back India at home.
Against
anybody, but against Afghanistan.
I feel it's going to be another really boring game, just missing one side out cheaply and then just strolling towards the finish line.
True. So I think that's going to happen. And then, so let's see how this develops. We haven't really had you, before I go on to tomorrow's game, we haven't really had you on the podcast so far. So what's your take on, I guess, a quick minute or two on how Pakistan's done so far?
I mean, only see them play one warm up, and then that match against Netherlands,
Netherlands,
which
yeah.
for me it's been the best match so far. Only not because of the quality of cricket, just because it's been kind of close. I like the team, of course. Like I miss Naseem Shah in there. I'm not a fan of. I've never been a fan of Iftikhar. Shadab's form is worrying, but man, they have the best one-day batsman in the team. They have arguably the best one-day seam bowler in their team. Hard to say. Like they're still a really fun team to watch, and I would not drop Fakhar Zaman. I want Fakhar Zaman in this tournament. I would play him for every game. I don't care. Like, come on,
I think given that he played him in the last game, I feel like now you need to carry him for at least 3 more games, right? See how it goes. But I would say you can't change that now.
Come on, like he's won us the tournament. He deserves that level of like.
And also, like I was saying, someone in April there was an article on Dawn.com saying, "Is he our best opener ever?" Right, based on the 3 centuries that he just scored. That was just 4 months ago.
4 months ago. I wouldn't go that far, but he's one of our best, if not the best, limit overs batsman. And plus, he has the numbers domestically. He had a great IPL. He had a great PSL. Different format, different conditions, but still, like he has the runs.
And also, if you look at Pakistan, the number of times he scored 330 in the last 5 years, 330 plus. Fakhar has got, I think, something like 4 centuries and 350s in those games, and he averages 95. Yeah. So clearly, he's one of the main reasons we could get to a bigger score. Otherwise, the team we have, I guess, something like a 330 is our best case, really, against any decent opposition.
Yeah. Imam kind of look. So I am a fan of Imam Ul-Haq, and he has the runs. He's consistent. His scoring rate is what it is. Dude, it's not great. It's not great, and I don't think he's technically an anchor. This is why I don't compare Imam to the Indian batsman, but like Rohit does not. Rohit could be an anchor, but he chooses not to. Like he plays for the team strategy.
If you look at it's a good point. If you look at the Indian players' strike rates right now, so except for Kohli and Rohit, they all are striking at 98 and above, and even Kohli and Rohit in the last 2 years are 96 and above. Nobody in our team in the last couple of years is striking at 96 or higher. They're all below that. So there's a clear difference, not even in the same category in terms of strike rates.
Yeah. I hope Imam figures it out. Sneakily, he's one of the reasons why I feel like he could be we risk a lot playing someone like him. But no, he has the runs. He's earned his way into the team.
For sure. Yeah. Okay, good stuff, Farooq. Moving on to very quickly to what we have up next, which is, again, we're quickly going to preview tomorrow's game. It's not the most exciting game at all, but it's the team you described earlier as the one you enjoyed watching.
Yeah, they're fun. 2 of our South Asian brothers are in there. So Vikramjit Singh scored a really good 50 against us. There's this other guy, Aryan Butt. He bowled well, like took 1 wicket, 48 runs against Pakistan. So I don't know much about the Dutch team.
Same. This Bash leader guy is something else. I feel like he'll definitely be playing PSL this year.
But is this the guy who took like 4 wickets and scored 50 runs?
So he's also the only guy in ODI history to take 4 wickets and score 50 in consecutive games.
Oh, that's not been done before.
And his last game was a qualifier against Scotland, which they had to win to qualify. So that was obviously a pressure game as well.
Dude,
even though it was against
I'm embarrassed for all cricketers if we allowed like a Dutch person to get that record before, like like regular cricket playing nation.
Yeah.
Even but Aryan and Vikramjit Singh, they're like, this is young. At least these 3, like Bass, whatever, is like 23 years old. Aryan and Vikramjit are 20 years old, young team, and they're solid, dude.
Yeah. Solid. So and New Zealand, right? They beaten England. They now have, I think the sequence, I don't have it written down, but they have Netherlands, they have Bangladesh, and they have Afghanistan. So if they can get those 3 wins, then they're sitting at 4 wins, and they need 2 more out of the remaining 5, which are mostly against the big boys. So
and they're not even playing 3 of their. Kane Williamson is playing.
So
Lockie
they
Ferguson's
had 3 guys
playing.
missing for the first game, but I believe
that's
Ferguson.
Crazy.
Yeah. In fact, let's look at the 11 we think they're going to play. Since you brought it up, the word is that Williamson is still not available, but apparently Ferguson and Saudi are available. Now, I feel like Ferguson could come in, but I'm just not sure who I would put him in for. So maybe they've got Nisham. They actually were playing a bowler short, and they seem to do fine the other day against England. Maybe they're going to, leave Chapman out. I'm not even sure how he comes in, right? But I think they are. Nisham ordinarily is not a full bowler, but they had Nisham and Phillips combining for the 5th bowler slot this time around. So I'm guessing Ferguson will come in, because I think once the likely 11 was, I put this down. I think I read the Ferguson's available after that. So I think he will come in. I'm not sure for whom. Maybe for Chapman. I'm not sure if you have a view on that, Farooq.
Yeah, Santner, Henry, and Bolt are automatic. They aren't going. Santner won them.
Yeah.
I mean, he's the one that best bowlers last game. So
Yeah.
I guess it's Chapman and Isham. Dude, I'm very excited about this Ravindra fellow, dude. I saw the article on. I don't totally buy the Yuvraj comparisons, but he's a really exciting player to watch.
And the fact that
a lot of fun.
he's also a bowler, which is amazing, right? Like he's I thought he's primarily a bowler until I saw him opening the batting twice. So.
Oh, dude, I didn't even know. I'm so new to him. I thought he's primarily a batsman who bowls. He
But
came
he's
as
a
bowler.
leg spinner. He's a leg spinner. He's bowling 8-9 overs. So yeah, I mean he's
good for him,
great,
dude.
Great story.
Excited for him. Excited for him, yeah, for sure.
So that's tomorrow. Before we move on, very quickly, we have one last thing on the agenda, Farooq. We have a little quiz we end the show with. You have to rate the following in descending order. Give it your best shot. Highest first. So population of Chennai, Bumrah followers on Insta, population of Australia, Warner followers on Insta, and then KL Rahul Insta followers. So.
Oh, she. Okay. I'm gonna go for Chennai first.
Okay.
That's then Bumrah next. Followed by KL Rahul Insta followers. Then the population of Australia. And then Warner's and stuff followers. Warner's followers the lowest, I would say. I don't know.
So you're saying Chennai, Bumrah, KL, Australia, and then Warner. Is that right? Cool.
Yes.
And the answer is you underestimate Australia, my friend.
Whoa, dude! I thought Australia was nothing.
No. So Australia.
And 25 million, huh? I just thought Chennai had more people.
No. Actually, to be honest, I was surprised that KL Rahul has 15. I didn't think he would be like. I think Rohit has like 7. So KL Rahul is twice as much. But,
and I feel like Bumrah is more popular, so he would have more followers. But
I'm surprised KL Rahul. But I think KL Rahul is. I think he's engaged to like a Bollywood star's daughter, like Sunil Shetty's daughter. Maybe that's why.
Oh,
so
that counts.
These things have a life of their own.
That's
but good stuff, Farooq. It was a pleasure having you on the show. Hopefully, we'll get you again at some point. And in the meantime, if you guys like what you saw, please like the video, subscribe to the channel. We'll be back tomorrow night after the New Zealand game, and also more importantly, previewing the Pakistan-Sri Lanka game the day after. So stay tuned to the shiny side.